Good morning, I'm Samriddhi K.C. and these are the headlines of the hour. Delegations and high-level representatives address climate risk and call for justice at Sagarmatha Sambad. Discussions to be held on 4 different topics in today's session. Nepal Telecom's mobile network operation commences in Kalang area of Dolpa. Locals elated with the onset of service. First phase of Russia-Ukraine talks conclude with an agreement to swap 1,000 prisoners. Second phase of talks expected to be attended by Zelensky and Putin. And Indian Premier League IPL to resume from today following ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Royal challengers Bengaluru to face Kolkata Knight Riders at their home ground. The Sagarmatha Sambad kicked off in Kathmandu, focusing on climate change, its risk and the issue of justice. Speaking on behalf of the government of Nepal, Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli called on the global community to take concrete steps towards protecting the Himalayas. Delegates, including both national and international experts, stressed the need for governments to act seriously on reducing climate impacts. The dialogue will continue through Sunday, featuring 9 discussion sessions across 4 key themes.
The Sagarmatha Sambad officially kicked off in Kathmandu with global leaders emphasizing the need for international cooperation to address the impacts of climate change, particularly in vulnerable countries like Nepal. Speaking at the inaugural session, COP29 President Mukhtar Babayev highlighted climate change as a global crisis requiring urgent financial support and technology transfer. He urged the global community to recognize the fragile state of mountain ecosystems, including Mount Everest, and the broader Himalayan economy. Babayev called on high-emission countries to fulfill their commitments under the Baku to Belem roadmap during the upcoming COP30 summit, stressing the need to deliver on the pledged $1.3 trillion made during the COP summit in Baku, Azerbaijan.
We invite everyone to join the declaration and the dialogue. We will hold a preliminary meeting in Bonn this June before the first meeting of the dialogue platform at COP30 in Belem. We look forward to seeing you all there. Next, finance was at the center of the COP29 presidency's vision to enable action. We brought stakeholders together to mobilize money for mountain communities.
India's Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change, Bhupender Yadav, also addressed the session, saying that climate change has intensified environmental challenges and the collective action is essential to mitigate its impacts.
India, under the visionary leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, is deeply committed to contributing to climate action with the urgency it demands, despite our minimal role for the crisis it faces. Our nationally determined contribution under the Paris Agreement and our National Action Plan on Climate, we are testament to our resolve.
The Vice Chairperson of the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress of China, Xiao Ji, stressed the importance of regional cooperation and coordination to tackle climate change. He emphasized the need for joint programs and commitments to protect the Hindu Kush Himalayan region.
Our mountains are closely tied to our future. In the face of the stark reality that the Hindu Kush Karakoram Himalaya mountain range is projected to lose half of its glacier by 2100, and amid a certain country's unilateralist moves to willfully withdraw from treaties and organizations.
Following the global leaders' remarks, Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli declared that Nepal has initiated Sagarmatha Sambad as a global platform for climate discourse. He said that protecting the Himalayas means protecting the planet, oceans, and ultimately humanity. The Prime Minister urged the world to pay attention to the environmental importance of Nepal's mountains and hills.
The decisions of a few can shape the destiny of many. It is within this deeply interconnected reality that the Sagarmatha Sambad was born. A space for honest dialogue, for shared wisdom, for collective action. We have named it after Sagarmatha, the highest point on earth. And we hope this Sambad, our dialogue, will rise just as high.
As per our reporter Bikas Acharya, the Sagarmatha dialogue will continue with the aim of elevating voices from climate-vulnerable nations and pushing for global climate justice and action.
The Executive Director of Fund for Responding to Loss and Damage expressed his delight at being part of Sagarmatha Sambad here in Kathmandu, highlighting the importance in addressing pressuring global climate issues.
In most cases where you get losses and damages related to climate change, it affects the capacities of the government to respond. It affects the most vulnerable people. It also affects the infrastructures and so many areas. So the fund is really entirely dedicated to making sure we provide the response in a timely manner and making sure that no one is left behind, and that's what the fund is all about. A decision was made to operationalize the fund as quickly as possible because of the sense of urgency. Now, it's remarkable within a year what we were able to achieve, particularly from a governance point of view. Number one, we've decided to select Philippines to be the host of our board, so giving the fund a home and the board a home. Second commitment that was made is for the World Bank to host the secretariat of the fund, at least for the first 4 years. That's already been done. We've also decided at the time to continue working toward actually more pledges to the fund. As of today, we have about 27 countries that pledged to the fund, up to $766 million, and over $300 million have already been received from different contributors. It is our way to making sure that the support that we provide are tailor-made in supporting actually the countries. So again, the fund recognizes from Nepal to Barbados to Africa, the challenges are not the same, but ultimately, we also want to make sure at least we provide the support that's actually needed. Now, let me also recognize we're not the only players when it comes to climate financing, sorry. There are other funds that are also supporting Nepal. So our intention, through complementarity and coordination, we would like to join forces in making sure we can provide the support that the country needs, and that's why coordination is extremely critical in supporting the most vulnerable countries, and Nepal included. Well, first of all, I'm delighted to be in Nepal for the first time. I found people extremely kind and generous and welcoming since I've been here, and that is why I'm delighted I'm here not only for the dialogue, but also to visit the country for the first time.
And in this context, in our Public Voice segment, we have asked in several provinces what key messages should Nepal deliver to the international community through Sagarmatha Sambad to strengthen climate action. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
हिमाल रहन्छ तब मात्र समुद्र रहन्छ र जलचक्र रहन्छ जलवायु परिवर्तन स्थिर रहन्छ भन्ने मेरो भनाइ छ त्यसकारण हिमालहरुको संरक्षणमा विश्व जगतले नै ध्यान दिनुपर्दछ
र जलवायु परिवर्तनको नेपालको समस्यालाई पनि विश्वकै एउटा साझा समस्याको रूपमा लिएर यसलाई समाधानमा लैजानुपर्छ
अतिवृष्टि अनावृष्टि र हिमालहरु पग्लिएको अवस्था छ यसको इस्युहरु विश्वव्यापी हुनुपर्छ र हामीले त्यसको क्षतिपूर्ति बापत हामीले जलवायुमा कुनै त्यति ठुलो असर पर्ने कार्यहरु गरेको छैन त्यसको क्षतिपूर्ति बापत नेपालले पाउनु पर्छ र यो विश्वव्यापीकरण हुनुपर्छ
बिरुवाहरु रोप्न पर्यो अब हात हतियारहरु चलाउनु भएन अनि अब पर्यटकलाई आकर्षण गर्नको लागि अब यो धुवा धुलो धेरै हुनु भएन खोला भट्टीहरुबाट निस्किने तापक्रमहरुलाई न्यूनीकरण गर्नको लागि न्यूनीकरण गर्नै पर्छ विकसित मुलुकहरुले संसारको हरितकरण गर्न र जलवायु परिवर्तनका लागि विशेष अनुदान दिई यो प्रदूषण घटाउन उहाँहरुको योगदान हुनै पर्छ उनीहरुले चाहिँ अल्प विकसित मुलुकहरुलाई अनुदान दिनुपर्छ विकसित राष्ट्रहरुले जसले बढी कार्बन उत्सर्जन गरिराखेका छ उहाँहरुले चाहिँ नेपाललाई त्यो बराबरको चाहिँ के आर्थिक सहयोग गर्नुपर्छ नेपालले अब ठूला राष्ट्रहरुबाट दया माया हैन कि न्याय र क्षतिपूर्ति पाउनुपर्छ ग्यास चाहिँ बढी भर दिनु भएको छ हाम्रो चाहिँ यो बोट बिरुवाहरुले चाहिँ अक्सिजन प्राप्त गरेको छ त्यो अक्सिजन प्राप्त गरेको अक्सिजनलाई उहाँहरुले सकेसम्म किनेर लैजानु पर्छ जनताहरुलाई चाहिँ यो कुराहरु चाहिँ पुग्न पर्यो
Nepal Telecom's mobile network service has been launched in the Kalang village area of Dolpo Buddha Rural Municipality in Dolpa, which was previously out of communication access. With the operation of the mobile tower, the citizens of Kalang will now be able to easily use phone and internet services. The Kalang area has been formally connected to the mobile network for the first time. Previously, the locals had been facing difficulties in their daily lives and even administrative work due to the lack of communication services. This tower, established through the collaboration of the local government and Nepal Telecom, is expected to play a significant role in enabling the villagers to easily stay in contact with their relatives in the country and abroad, access information and reach digital services. According to the Dolpa chief of Nepal Telecom, K.C, preparations are underway to continuously improve the technology to provide even better services in the coming days. The legal age for marriage in Nepal is 20 years. Marriages below this age are automatically annulled, and those involved in arranging or entering such unions face legal actions. Despite this, a significant number of adolescent girls in Nepal marry and give birth before reaching the legal age. Statistics show that 14% of all pregnant individuals visiting hospitals or health facilities are adolescents. Childbirth during adolescence before physical and mental maturity increases health risk for these young mothers. Amidst these risks, the government has initiated discussions about lowering the marriage age, which poses the risk of exacerbating the problem. At Paropakar Maternity and Women's Hospital in Kathmandu last year, 22,239 women received maternity services. Among those who gave birth, 1,600 were under the age of 20. Data from this hospital indicates that 6 to 7% of annual deliveries are to individuals under 20. Likewise, around 2,000 abortions are performed annually, with approximately 15% involving adolescents.
हाम्रो अस्पतालमा गत वर्ष 22,000 हाम्रो टोटल 22,239 हाम्रो टोटल डेलिभरी भएको थियो। अघिल्लो वर्ष चाहिँ हाम्रो 23,000 थियो भनेपछि अब त्यो भन्दा अगाडि 24,000 डेलिभरी थियो। त्यो डेलिभरीको अनुपातमा हाम्रो 1500-1600 चाहिँ हाम्रो टिनेज प्रेग्नेन्सी छ र टिनेज प्रेग्नेन्सीको अहिले अनुपात हेर्दा 6 देखि 7% चाहिँ अहिले हाम्रो टिनेज प्रेग्नेन्सी अहिले देखिन्छ अनुपात लास्ट इयरको र अहिलेको डाटाहरु हेर्दा पनि।
The figures from other hospitals in Kathmandu are similar. At Tribhuvan University Teaching Hospital, out of 3,500 annual births, up to 120 are mothers under 20. On average, 2 individuals under 20 undergo abortions daily. Likewise, at Patan Hospital, out of an average of 15 daily deliveries, 2 are typically to adolescent mothers. Adolescence is defined as the age group of 10 to 19 years. According to 2078 National Census, the number of adolescent girls in Nepal is 2,906,207. Pregnancy and childbirth at this age is considered risky. However, the Nepal Demographic and Health Survey 2022 data reveals that out of the total 395,886 pregnancies in Nepal, 14% are among adolescents. Alarmingly, 71 out of every 1,000 adolescent girls have already given birth. Nepal's adolescent fertility rate is highest in Southeast Asia. The number of abortions is also significant. In the fiscal year 2080-81, out of 105,098 abortions, 8% were among adolescents. This figure represents official abortions. The number of unsafe abortions is likely much higher.
सबै गर्दाखेरि एभरेजमा हाम्रो 12-15 जना हुन्छ अहिले हैन 12-15 जना हुन्छ एभरेजमा त्यतिमा एक जना दुई जना त एभ्रीडे आइरा हुन्छ एभ्रीडे हुन्छ एक जना दुई जना टिनेज प्रेग्नेन्सी चाहिँ अहिले पनि हुन्छ
हामीसँग मुख्य रूपमा सुरक्षित रूपमा गराउनेको तथ्याङ्क आयो असुरक्षित रूपमा गराउनेको आधिकारिक रूपमा तथ्याङ्क नआउने भएको भएर त्यो प्रतिशत अझै उच्च हुन सक्छ 8% जुन मैले भने त्यो हाम्रै स्वास्थ्य व्यवस्थापन सूचना प्रणाली अन्तर्गत हामीलाई आउने तथ्याङ्क हो त्यो वास्तविक दर यो भन्दा पनि उच्च हुन्छ
Pregnancy and childbirth at the young age are considered challenging. In Nepal, 31% of adolescents lack access to family planning methods. Experts state that pregnancy during adolescence before complete physical, mental and intellectual development poses risk to both the mother and the child. Factors such as tradition of parents marrying off their daughters at a young age, lack of sex education and limited access to family planning contribute to many adolescent girls becoming mothers.
बाहिर विदेशको कतिपय ठाउँमा चाहिँ सानै अवस्थादेखि नै उनीहरुलाई चाहिँ यौन सम्बन्धहरुदेखि लिएर विभिन्न किसिमका प्रेम विवाह यताउति के हो भन्ने बारेमा गाइडेन्स दिइन्छ हैन अनि किशोर किशोरीहरुले चाहिँ आफ्नो उमेर पुगेपछि मात्रै सम्पर्क राख्छन् हामी नेपालमा चाहिँ त्यस्तो किसिमको छैन र त्यसको मारमा पर्ने चाहिँ धेरै जसो किशोरीहरु हुन्छन् त्यसै कारणले गर्दाखेरि यो सुरुवात आमाबुवाबाट गर्नुपर्छ स्कुलबाट गर्नुपर्छ
The national goal is to reduce the maternal mortality rate from the current 151 per 100,000 live births to 99 by 2030. However, the alarming number of underage pregnancies, childbirths and abortions presents a significant challenge. Instead of addressing how to reduce these numbers, the government's discussion on lowering the marriage age raises serious concerns. Welcome back. The meeting of the Parliamentary Subcommittee has passed the School Education Bill yesterday. As per the provisions passed by the subcommittee, if enacted into law, there will be two types of teachers in the country: class teachers up to grade 3 in basic level and subject teachers from grade 4 to 8. Likewise, in secondary level, there will be subject teachers from grade 8 to 12. Teachers will also be categorized into 3 grades: 1st, 2nd and 3rd. The subcommittee under the Education, Health and Information Technology Committee of the House of Representatives, coordinated by UML lawmaker Chabilal Bishwakarma, reached this agreement. According to the provisions passed by the subcommittee, the positions of temporary teachers, including those on relief quotas, will be maintained. Local levels will be able to transfer a teacher who has worked in a school for 2 years to another school. Likewise, the provincial government's Ministry of Education will be able to transfer a teacher who has served for 5 years from one local level to another. Interprovincial transfers will be possible after 7 years of the service. Heavy rain accompanied by powerful windstorms has caused loss of lives and property across several parts of Nepal. At least 4 people have died and 3 others have been injured in incidents reported from Nawalparasi, Kapilvastu and Kailali district. The storms have also disrupted daily lives in various regions, including the Kathmandu Valley. Flights were affected at Kathmandu and Bhairahava airports, with several flights delayed due to the strong winds. In Nawalparasi, 2 people were killed and 3 others injured when a large tree collapsed on a roadside shelter during the storm. The victims, Meera Bayambu and Durga Bahadur Pun, were taking refuge from the wind when the tree fell on them. The injured are being treated at Devdaha Medical College in Rupandehi. The east-west highway section of Taune in Nawalparasi was also obstructed due to slippery road conditions caused by the rain. DSP Madhu Nepal from Nawalparasi East confirmed that vehicles are currently being held at Dumkibas in the east and Bardaghat in the west. In Kapilvastu, Sukhna Kewat of Mainihava was injured after falling tree branch struck her and passed away during treatment. Likewise, in Sukhat, Koragodi municipality of Kailali, Karna Bhandari died after being crushed by a falling sal tree near his home. He passed away during treatment at a hospital in Dhankadi. The windstorm and rain have not only affected transportation and mobility but have also caused damage to vegetables and fruit crops in various regions. It is time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse, brought to you by...
The question is, why do you think CP and UML lawmakers called the participation of Nepali Congress leaders in pre-budget discussions inactive? Option A, NC's muted dissatisfaction. Option B, no significance of the discussion. Option C, conflict lies elsewhere. And option D, cannot say. The voting is on. Visit www.kantipurtv.com or www.ekantipur.com to share your opinion with us. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.